Hello, everybody. Hello, UX designers and everybody joining us around the world. Welcome to today's episode of our Deep Dive series, where we present the award-winning solutions of this year's UX Design Awards spring season. My name is Aker Rudolf. I'm head of strategy at the IDZ and director of the awards. A quick info up front, everybody who's watching us on LinkedIn Live, put your questions to the chat and we'll bring them into the Q&A right after the presentation. And if you're on Zoom right now with us, turn on your camera, turn off your mic, and join the Q&A if you'd like to in person. And if you'd like to register for Zoom, you can jump onto our website, uxdesignawards.com, events, and join us right now. You can join us regularly for deep dives and talent tracks, presenting award-winning designers and teams, inspiring UX conversations with our jury members. And for all these events, you can jump to our website, LinkedIn company page, or YouTube. We hope to offer you valuable insights on design processes, new developments in the UX design domain, and beyond. In today's deep dive, we'll be talking about how to bridge analog and digital interactions. For our talk, we invited two key team members behind the Bosch UI Generation Digital Ring, the winner of the product award in this year's spring competition season. When granting the award, the jury noted how well the sophisticated graphics and animations guide users through the operating processes, and that the consistent interface design allows the ring to be integrated in very diverse appliances. And last but not least, that the designers succeeded in creating both a distinctive UI and a recognizable brand element for all Bosch appliances. So into today's deep dive, I'm very glad to introduce two core members of the team. They are Christoph Ortmann, head of Bosch UI design, and Alice Russo, UI UX design manager, both at Bosch. Hello to both of you. It's great to have you with us. So, Christoph, you're still mute. We are looking forward to your presentation and our talk right after. I hope Alice is also Alice, sorry, because your name is spelled Alice in Italian correctly. So please take it away from here. Looking forward to see more from you.
So, cool. So, hello everybody. Alice, you're still muted. Just to check it. So let me start. Actually, we have some like technical little problems, but I think we managed this. So hello everybody. Thanks for having me, Ake, and us. Yeah. So it's a pleasure for us to share the background story of our new UI generation we call Digital Ring. So I'm Christoph Ortmann, head of Bosch UI design. So I lead the UI design for the Bosch home appliances. I built up the team from scratch years ago, and now I'm proud that we bring the second UI generation I was responsible for into the market, and therefore we got the nice UX Design Award. No, Alice, it doesn't work. Actually, we are in one room and we had some issues with the technique, so hope we can manage it.
I think your mic is turned off on Zoom actually, so you could turn it on the Zoom window. Well, Christoph, can you take away the presentation and Alice
yes.
Just click it? Maybe that's a good solution in the meantime.
Ach, dann will ich. Sorry. So I take over the presentation. Actually, have a fallback solution here.
So hang on for a second, we'll be starting right away, and please bear with us because this is actually what happens very often in live events, and mostly it's the technical stuff that doesn't work.
So true. So let me share my screen.
It's great how you're able to just jump in from one computer to the other. And I hope, Alice, you'll be able to join in a second too.
It's like real life, right? Okay, you hear me and you see the screen? Okay, Alice is going to dial in again. So hello again. Let's start. I have to find where the cursor is. Here it is. So yeah, it's about home appliances, right? So Alice, you are in?
Yeah, I think now it works better.
So yes, and we hear you.
So it's
and I share the screen now. I share the screen. Do you see it? All right,
Yeah.
all right. I already introduced myself and a little bit of background here. So feel free to continue, Alice. Some words about you, and then I continue then.
Yeah, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be this evening here. My name is Alice. I'm a user interface designer by background. I joined a Bosch design team in 2015. And I started working on the foundation of this new user interface generation. And then in a second moment, I lead the UI design process in a premium oven range, which is the most strategic project of BSH. So that's from my background in this project.
So, and it's about you. It's about home appliances. Alice, can you mute yourself because there's an echo in the call? Yeah, it's better. So it's about home appliances. Yeah, it's for ovens, it's for hob, it's for cooktops, it's for dishwashers, for anything what is at home, for washing machines as well, fridges. So we are responsible for all the different categories, and we also take care on a global side, so for different regions. So we are located here in Munich, but we also have the region Greater China, also North America, India, and so on. So in all those regions, there are satellite teams. The core team is here in Munich. You see the team members, the nice team members. So strong team, a nice team. It grew a lot, or grew in the last years. So yeah, we do things like ovens. It's a diverse team, not just from the gender point of view, so also from the age range. We have people below 25 and above 50 years. So, but also we have different so different countries are represented in the team, like Turkey, Italy, like Alice, Poland, China, but also different regions within Germany, like Thuringia, Bavaria, Rheinland-Pfalz. So, and this, yeah, is cool because you have so many different perspectives in here. And so it's about today about home appliances like this oven. Probably many of you are familiar with this kind of oven interface. So solid knobs on here on the panel to adjust the heating type or a temperature or a time. But you know, this one we presented last year at the IFA. This is the one we got the UX award. So this represents a new UI generation for the brand, for the Bosch home appliances, where we are going to roll it out in different categories. We start with an oven, we have a washing machine, a pipeline for China, and many more products will come into the market in the next years. But between the first picture and this one, yeah, what happens there? What's going on here? I think a lot. So things have changed and developed. So like where a home appliance is built in, and so in this case the kitchen on the left side, it's a so-called Frankfurter Küche. So it's the basis, actually the blueprint for many kitchens in the Western world for decades. So a small room, but well organized, really well in ergonomics. It's anything is on the right place and is used very efficient. But it's also an isolated place, and this is the reason why it now we have more those open kitchens, so the fusion of a kitchen and a living space. And so this has different requirements, like different needs for consumer needs for on a product. So oven or cooktop or the ventilation's more integrated here. So it's fused also with the furniture, with the so that it looks less like a tool, like a machine, more like a furniture. So this is actually the topic of integration. Also very important, and a strong driver is the change in the technology. So the brand Bosch, Bosch home appliance, we come from this mechanical world, right? So we were experts, and we are still experts in how mechanics work well. But in the meanwhile, and this is not a trend, this is the situation. Electronics become more and more important, and even more than mechanics. So we have sensors in our appliances who measure things to support, like humidity, and often to support the user, that you don't need to adjust anything. We have connected appliances you can control with your smartphone, but you can also have then more and more functions on it, more supportive functions, more nice functions. And also where more and more this artificial intelligence is also relevant for us to again to support the user in routine usage. So something you do again and again and again, and machine learning can help here a lot. So this influences the functionality. And also this iPhone moment was also for us something like a game changer in terms of what is the expectation from the users. So coming from a world with a lot of buttons and little displays or even no displays, with the iPhone, this was a game changer. So set the new standard so that the screen with a full touch experience became a standard. And this is actually also expectation on home appliances more and more. And actually is the right interaction concept to manage also, let's say, complex functions where you don't adjust anything, simple things, you just select simply things. So, and this is very supportive because you don't need to be an expert anymore to bake a cake perfectly. So question for us was always how to design the user interface in a time of change. So actually the starting point for us was always, okay, where do we come from? Where are our roots? What is familiar, well known for home appliance? Obviously is the knob. It's the knob on oven, you adjust the temperature. It's the knob on a washing machine, you select the program. So this was the basis of any thoughts I had. And in 2014, we launched the first digital interface, and it's an interpretation of the good old knob. So it's still round, and we have still a piece of metal, but in this is an interface. There's a TFT integrated, and so we have a mix of a mechanical element and a digital element. So you see it integrated, or here you see it in the oven. So this is a ring, it's flush mounted in a panel, and around and inside the ring there are displays, and you have a mix of mechanical interaction element and some touch area around the ring. And this was launched 2014 and was we called it mechanical ring. Actually, a very successful product generation. So I'm also a little bit happy. I'm happy and also honestly also a little bit proud seeing so many nice and good feedback. And here's an example. And I see people talking about an oven on an emotional way, which is a game changer for our business here. Also business-wise, it was very successful because now we became leader in the premium segment of the ovens, of built-in appliances, which is good for us because but all in all, in this generation, this first generation, we were still quite, or obviously diverse. So there was not like this one interface approach with the mechanical ring fits to all different appliances. You see here on the right side the oven, and in the right upper corner with the ring. Yes, this is the one we brought into the market. But below, there's also one with a knob interface, and the display inside. And on the other side, you see laundry care. Two examples: one with a so the lower one with a ring and LED interface combination, and the one which is on the left upper corner is a full touch interface made for China, was demanded by China in this way. So please guys, make a full touch interface because this is the latest. This is something we want to have here in the market. It was diverse. But still, we were thinking about, okay, we truly believe the ring is our core, it's our signature interface, because it was the most successful one of all those different ones. And a question for us was, how do we continue with the story in 2014? And in 2015, 1 year later, no, 16, it was 16, sorry, 2016, we start with a hypothesis. So the hypothesis was, okay, we have one target group, we call it quality passionates at Bosch. And within this target group, we have three different characters. So three different characters who have different wishes once it comes to interaction. And so those three different characters I'm going to explain you now in a little movie where you also see the execution. So we took this character and we transferred it to a UI concept, UI UX concept for two categories, for oven and for washing machine. So hope the movie runs. Hacke, it does? Cool. So first time we developed from scratch a cross-category user interface. First time before we did this, it was focused on one category, and starting with the traditional character, who's familiar still with mechanical elements. So we thought, okay, we have a good mechanical element, the ring, and we put a bigger interface around and add some new functionality in here, which and then we prototype this. So the ring interface, the mechanical ring. This is the mainstream character. And for the mainstream character, we prototype the full touch interface experience here with, you see it here with nice pictures, with typical patterns coming well known from mobile. And for the progressive character, we did something different. So it's a super integrated interface. It's has an embedded voice assistant. Still, there's one iconic mechanical element, but the display at all was well integrated. It was not like, okay, we showcased the biggest display in the market. It was pretty well integrated. And also, because it was for us the most advanced approach, we integrated technologies like, okay, a gesture control. So you see it here. and many functions were also then available on their mobile app. So those were the 3 characters. And with that, I hand over to you, Alice. I mute just myself and hope the echo is not so much anymore.
So yes, based on these 3 user interfaces, we started to test it and the scope was here to understand how this hypothesis works and what kind of insight we can draw from it. So we tested on a global perspective. That means in discussion with our research specialist, we decided to test it into different regions. And we decided to have the Germany as representation of the historical and large market Europe, and in opposite the China region as a representative for the growing and advanced Asian market, with a big group of young users. So we tested in a qualitative way. So we invited 8 users, 8 people from each character, what we explained it before. And we really had really deep interviews with them to not only go to the concept and explore how it works, but also to understand the need of them. So yeah, this was very great experience also for learning how these 2 cultures are really different and how we have to manage all these different requirements to create a globally user interface that works. So what we next. What we learned at first glance was that 3 dimension principally determinates the appealing of these UIs. One was the usability, of course, to understand how the familiarity of the control is and how flat it's the learning curve. And how it impacts this positive usage experience. The second dimension was the look, so how product looks, and as a big impact on this appearance. Really, we really see that graphics really boost this excitement. The third dimension was the feeling, so how it feels by using this product, what was the first impression, and what is the novelty value in there. So because we were looking on the future, not only on the present, and we also know how long our process are. So it was very important to understand what it's important for the future, this novelty, and of course the joy of use. The next page. So here I will explain in a really fast way, in a nutshell, so the results what we collect. So on this first traditional character with this mechanical element but a big screen, we figured out a weakness in usability, yeah, more in the European country, European region, because I mean, they're not really proficient by using in home appliance. Is not usual to have a complex user interface, and we matched here a lot of patterns that are not usually used in other products. So that was really a clear message here. And from look and feel, we find out it's for both region, it's acceptable, but nothing special. And the feel was that, I mean, the European target group was a lot influenced about the usability. So at the end, the joy of use was not really excited. So it was okay and acceptable, but nothing special. And but for the new market, for the Chinese, it was really something special, and they really address it more and more time, that it's really something new. They really like it, and it's joyful to use it. Next. Second user interface was well accepted. I mean, also in all dimensions, the usability, look, and the feel was not really excited, because it's something that the user expected. It's nothing new. It's always something standard that you see in a lot of other products, other industries. So it was here not a problem, but for us also something to think about that, because I mean, we want to create something new for the next generation, also for the next 10 years. Regarding the third character, this advanced and integrated UI, we see there a lot of weakness of the concept itself. The usability was not performed. Also, the look was really not excited, because it was really integrated minimal. It's not something that the Chinese market liked very well. Also, the user don't really understand why doing so. Yes, the feeling was to having something new, yes, because voice control and technology, but overall, it was the first concept that we skip it, because also from feasibility perspective in the company at that time, it was too complicated to integrate all this technology in one home appliances. So next slide, Christoph. So at that point, when it was clear that we have two concepts that works, and this ring story, what we had before, was not really performed well from usability perspective. That confused us a little bit, also because we get a lot of feedback from the business side, for the brand perspective, that the ring, it's really something unique, and something that drives also the selling point. And at that time, yeah, we discussed it a lot in the team. Next slide. And we decided to try it, this big challenge, to use the best of the aspect what we learned from this big exploration. And that was to use it from usability side. So learn it in common UX pattern that are known and used in a large scale. From the look, following the trust in this clear appearance with large type, colorful images and graphics. And for the feeling, we tried really this big challenge to go the way to find something uniqueness, a control element that it's innovative, and also it's a sign for a brand recognition. So, and at that time, we don't really know how to continue. But then it was a moment, and we tried in a little group, where we as experiment to this new way. We integrated this. We created a full touch concept, using a ring that it's integrated totally in the panel. So so to have it design, but not compromising the interaction itself. So the ring, it's now milled in a glass, in a very elegant execution, we will say, and it leaves from this light reflection on the surface. From experience perspective, we really try to to use all the swipe pattern, what you have already seen, and continue to use the ring gesture only for really specific use cases that are related to adjust something knows, like in the knob. So that was the first hour, the birth of the digital ring, how we name it. And because it was a new interpretation of this mechanical interaction, but in a full touch experience. So with the visualization of dynamic content in the ring, we became more flexible from content perspective, and also we covered a high level of complexity that was not possible before. So next slide. So the look and feel, now in a glance, I will go really fast through this aspect, what is also for us really important in this off state. The product itself, because we are not selling only a user experience, but also this product that lives in the home of these people, and we want really to address our brand sign, and it's fused in the product, so you will see it everywhere. But it gets a different dimension. So when you turn the appliances on, the ring is also present there. And here it's in the background, and he is the focus of your attention. So he has no functionality, but it covers this aspect of focus and simplicity, and for the orientation and the navigation. Next point. The ring, in some pattern, the ring disappear totally itself, because the graphics will be more in focus. Now you see here a list pattern, so you have it as shape, but it doesn't block you in your interaction. So you are really free, and it's disappear, like say. Next. And but then it will be really present in the moment where you have to adjust settings. So with the rotation gesture, you have the freedom and the control of your interaction. It's also very precise, and that was so the major aspect where we decided to continue the story, and here have it really big and present. So also the ring next has also additional integration in the running. So when an appliance is running, so some the function is run in the appliance, you will also recognize this round shape also visually, but it doesn't also not have some functionality here. It's more something brand sign also. So in a glance, what we tried to do, it's to have in our visual language a really high level of recognition. So that's why we are using really colorful graphics coming also from our brand guidelines. We create for abstract function also some illustration that are very fine and emotional, and we really use really sharp images for dishes or for results. When you're coming to discussing about a results, a dish or a laundry care washing program, then we use picture to also address the quality of our results, and they're all shooted from a top perspective, and trying also to have to look that the picture really are really great in the quality also from the product itself. And we worked out this prominent ring control. So here you also see the next challenge where we worked. So we scaled our user interface and our concept on different display size. That also mean that we also had a lot of work in creating an abstract, compressed some pattern itself. So also from not only display and pixel side, but also sometimes also performance, because in the big display we have a lot of power of the system, and animation are possible, but when it comes on lower classes, then it's more simpler and but it also works, and it feels it's a brand experience, because you can what you learned in the big concept user interface is represented and also in the small one. The third challenge what we had, and we are continuing to doing that, it's to introduce this principle, this concept, this new generation in different product. That also means different function, different functionality and feature that sometimes are really challenging us. And for each project, then we started a refinement based on user testing, user feedback. But this story we want to tell you today because it goes really in deep. But so that's on one glance this three big challenges. So creating an archetype, scale it in three value classes, and then use it for different product and creating a brand experience. So I will hand over to Christoph for the final part.
Yeah. So, thank you, Alice. So as you see it here, we did it for different regions, for different categories. So this was also like different to the first generation of digital user interface. From the beginning on, we took care on different appliances who have different requirements, right? So the basic work was, I don't know if you got it a little bit, the feeling of, but it was a lot of basic work here needed. So a lot of pre-development, a lot of thoughts were in here, and we had to try so many things out. Also performance-wise, does this work? This animation, is this from the quality perception good enough, and so on and so on. So what we do now at the moment, we build up the design system, and which is probably standard for web and app, but it's not standard in embedded interfaces as our business is. And so we are going to build up this design system. Have a look on LinkedIn on the profile, my profile, or Franz Filsmeyer's profile. So he's responsible for the design system. There's also a nice movie in here. So we transfer the design into components from design, and we also have developed software code from beginning on, so that for each and any new product which will come in the next years, we have a foundation here. So it makes life easier, development faster, and we can concentrate on new things and don't have to develop anything from scratch. This is what we do now. And then I have one final slide with a nice movie where you see here. No, one more, the team and the happy team. So this was the last year at the IFA. So we were also really proud on to present it and to bring it then finally into the market. Feedback was awesome at the IFA, and yeah, so this is the core team here working on this generation, and now the movie is a little bit gives you an idea how it looks like on an oven. So you don't hear it probably because there's a nice sound in the background, but hopefully you hear me. So this is the oven built-in or the built-in appliance generation, the current one, completely in black with high glossy glass, with nice details as this handle made out of one piece of metal. But you see here also a trend. So the product design is less prominent, more integrated, and that's why this shape in the glass is so important for us to make a difference to any food touch appliance. Yeah. So now you see it in action. So startup animation, and then in the first interaction hierarchy, you have a swipe interaction gesture or your swipe gesture, where you swipe through, for example, dishes or different modes. And yeah, you tap on it, then you come to a list. In this case, the ring is not present anymore visually on the screen. So this is a very efficient pattern. We make use of it quite often. And so here you see let's say the core interaction of the ring. So where you adjust very precisely the values, no matter it is the temperature, the duration, the end time, you add a microwave, you add steam. And it works here, as you see. It's also in a coffee dispenser. This is a important requirement in the built-in business, that this fits perfectly together, because you build one product next to another one, and then you want to have this perfect match also in the interaction. So thank you. That's the story of the digital ring generation, where we got this awesome design of what Alice is on your table. There it is. Yeah. So
well, looking at Zoom, it looks like a giant gray area, but it's actually a pretty nice trophy. Thank you very much for Alice and Christoph for this presentation. Before I jump to the questions that came in from our audience, and please keep them coming because we'll bring them in as much as we can. Can you briefly tell us the project duration of the development from the mechanical ring to the visual UI? How long did it take?
Yeah, there were different phases, I would say, and you have to consider, and there was so much new, also the electronics in the background, the display, and the complete infrastructure. So all in all, it took like 6 years from the beginning of this hypothesis to bring it into the market. And so just also to add something to this number of 6 years, it's a long time, and but there you see also that our ambition is to be faster in the future, because now 2 reasons are crucial. On the one side, you can't have another 6 years for another generation, and on the other side, we have here now we reached kind of like a standard where we feel this is the right way to go. It's digital enough, I have to say. So with those words, that you can run it like a mobile or like a mobile operating system with like little adaptations and for the future. So in the future it will get faster, but the complete from beginning to end 6 years was a lot of to do here. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and of course, considering you're a big company and you tested across different parts of the world, that explains a little bit. But of course, there were pretty big challenges, I guess, because you had a mechanical element and just an element of a UI. So What was the biggest challenge when you worked on this full glass UI and ring integrated into it?
I have one. For me, it was the one challenge. Alicia, can you mute yourself? Probably there's an echo in here. Okay, cool. And then I would hand it over to you also. For me, it was to convince like the stakeholders to this new concept, because it's not like you copy or you continue doing something which is like established in the market, which is available in other businesses. And so Food Touch is would this was like the most like probably easiest way to go, and this was something very new, and we had come to convince so many stakeholders that this is the right way to go because it was so new, and this was like from the complete idea of having something integrated or present in physically in the class, also then having this as well as in the interface, and then also to find the right patterns and the combination of patterns, like a list, like a swipe, like the rotation of, you adjust or you configure values. This was then the other one.
And you had to convince many stakeholders. So maybe that speaks a little bit for the 6 years in a big company. Not just kidding. But so how did you convince them? And what was the point that the spark took over? Was there one moment, or was it a process? What was the reasons?
I can say some words on this. I mean, the big the really excited results of our testing. I think that was the part where we convinced really the business part, because they are really responsible for the product, and also their supported us then to find the right solution in the technical part. So I would say the user feedback was here a really big game player for our side. So it helped us a lot in all the user tests we did. We really get a lot of great results, because as Christoph also mentioned before, in the home appliance industry, as the trend is to integrate your appliance more and more in your living room, so the brand experience in the off state, it's really difficult to achieve. And that was the main asset for the business to push also then the technical part to support us.
And actually, I would like to double up on this, because to me, it sounded like a contradiction that according to marketing, the first user interface with the mechanical ring was really driving sales. It was created a market leadership position for Bosch. But in your user feedback, it wasn't so well received. So where's the contradiction there? How do you explain this? Is the market insights wrong, or was the user research wrong?
Well, actually, I can say a little bit to this. So the difference to the successful oven of the first generation ring and the hypothesis-based pre-development is that we had the ambition, and also it's a requirement to make one step further, right? So have a little bit more advanced patterns, but it's not for like just to have it, new patterns and a little bit more animation, bigger displays. Also new functions are in here, like sensors who measures the humidity in the oven, and you don't have to adjust the temperature and the heating mode and so on anymore. So like this, just to give an example, and many more of those were in here, where you not configure something anymore so much, so you select more. And this works pretty well with visuals and with well-known pattern coming from mobile. And to combine this with a piece of metal, we had to, there were so many patterns in here, you had to learn from scratch. And this was the difference to the oven of the first generation ring, where actually it was, there were also like new functions in here, but not so, let's say, and I don't want to say not so complex one. not so complicated. So don't mix it, complexity and complex. So complex functions, but make life easier, and therefore to interact with, you need some standard patterns well known from mobile in this case.
Okay, so it was standardization. Maybe the marketing part, the driving sales part of the prior version was the novelty rate of it. I'm actually also curious about the advanced prototype you presented. One would think that, you know, gesture control, voice control, that's the technologies we're all looking for in devices, but it wasn't that successful. Can you explain briefly why?
Yeah, I mean, we tested also in 2016. So maybe if you're looking today, maybe it could be that the results will be different. But at that time, also in the market, it was not usual to have a home appliance that are so techy, so complex. And our target group, it's really big. So Bosch covers really a really big target group from people that maybe are older. They are not always the young generation, people that can spend money on a premium appliance. Also, that was a reason, because for such target group, it was too difficult to use it. I think this aspect also to have too less information on the appliance and to have more on your mobile app. It was not common at that time. It was not accepted.
Just to add one more thing to the gesture control, for me this was too much technology push at this time. Probably also in other businesses. I know also interfaces from in automotive make use of gesture, but the thing is that there's no real user benefit in here, and we saw it really clear in making this study here. So we integrated in the best way, and it was a challenge to integrate it in a really meaningful way into the concept. But the outcome was okay. It's nice show off, but it was not supportive, and sometimes it results into more let's say complicated, interaction. So it didn't work out from user perspective.
Okay, so that means that sometimes the technologies we take as granted being the most easy ones in this case or in this application field aren't. Well, a couple of questions from our audience, because they're coming in one after another, and so I'm really glad for your interest on there. I'm curious about how you decided for the current design. What was the KPIs, maybe, if you say so? And Andre Nister actually had a questions whether you also put maintenance costs and the impact of the maintenance costs taken into consideration when you decided against the mechanical versus the full UI.
I'm not 100% sure if I got the question right, but there was one huge advantage to go in this direction, having the digital ring integrated in the class and not represented as a mechanical piece of metal anymore. We didn't mention it here in the presentation, but there was also the feasibility check cost-wise. Feasibility is it feasible from development point of view, and it wasn't so good. Really not. And we had a really critical situation, and then where we couldn't go on with this mechanical ring, and we had not the solution available so far. So there was this moment of, okay, what should we do now? So there were also cost reasons behind to go into this direction. Does this answer the question?
Alice, you wanted to add something to that?
Maybe we also convinced a different business unit. So when you're working cross-category, that means that you will create the effort for buying the first technology, but then scale it in a really big number of appliances in different categories that also get really good results, because then the prices was relatively okay then. So it was also this convincing stakeholder, not only in the project but also in the company, to use a standard and scale it. So
and did using just one material, glass, reduce maintenance cost and production cost as well?
For the oven, yes, and coffee machine, because the requirements are quite similar, so with heating and all the norms. But another product like washing machine, then there is a different solution. Maybe you will see it also physically, it's a little bit different. And also I mean, in other product we are now looking also in solution where is no physical ring, and for lower classes, so that it's not really shaping in the off state, but so there's some approaches for that.
Right. Some detailed questions to you, Christoph, as head of design. Actually, from there's two that connect to each other. From Mukesh Gupta, he asked how accessible is the UI and visible in sunlight, and maybe connected to that, another question that all these designs are held in black. So why did you decide for that? Is it a priority based on user research or any other reasons in terms of visibility?
So first question was, it is still visible? Yeah, with bright sunlight, right? I mean, as it is for any digital interface, you have some like disadvantages, but I also have to say we made a huge step with the display quality in here. So the quality of, you know, of the viewing angle. So it's really, really, really well, and it's really good. And we don't have like we call it in German Parallaxe, so it's the distance between the glass and where the interface is. So it's not there anymore. It's really looks really good, and this has a huge, or this really contributes on the contrast. You know, that has a really good contrast. So in the kitchen situation, in those places where the appliance is, it works really good. And the other thing is an interesting and good question: why is it so black? Because the appliance is black. Yeah. So so it's black because the if you see the oven, there's a complete glass is black. Actually the trend, but also we believe this is a nice design, an elegant one. And we did it in black because we don't want to, you know, show so obvious where the display ends, because not to forget, we have embedded interface, and sometimes they are not so big, so they are more like this. And so to integrate with a design where you use a black background, it looks and feels more integrated. Yeah, so this is the reason.
Okay, so it's both a design decision, a brand decision, and contrasting all combined. Natalie Zimmerman asked, which you can't see on the films, whether the UI provide haptic feedback. I think that's a very good question. Also, thinking about somebody cooking with greasy fingers on glass.
So I'll need to hand over then to you just quickly. Actually, you have it there, the feedback with the edge around the ring. Yeah, so you feel it also here. It works with wet finger because the touch technologies nowadays so robust that it is no problem anymore on a full touch interface. I know the cooktops in the past, and still a lot of those who are on the market, they have this issue still. The touch interface on the TFT is not a problem here anymore. And at the beginning, Alice, we tested also some more concepts.
Yeah, the first concept was also haptical feedback was also integrated in the panel. So, but that was from cost perspective not feasible. So, and that's why it was one of the first things that they canceled it in the project. And at the beginning, it was really difficult for us to accept it because we were not really happy to not have function and feedback. But then by using and experience it, we also learned that it works and it don't really need it. It's not really needed because it's more a style element. You can really say that at the end, really style and brand, not really focused on functionality.
So haptic feedback would probably also be more complex to realize, also adding to the cost and to
so
maintenance.
this
And
haptics
asked.
Yes, so just want to add to haptic was meant here as a force feedback supported by electronics, right? So yeah, and this was sadly too expensive, but was really cool.
So what would be next? I mean, are you happy with the product as it is now? Of course, it's a success. It was a great step also forward. Or are there already elements that you're thinking about? What would you like to develop next?
So yeah, so actually we're happy to brought into the market. The appliances are available. We can use them, right? But sure, journey goes on, and we know also about the disadvantages. So we know about coming from the user feedback where we have to work on which patterns are not like or don't fulfill all the requirements from the user or also from the functionality point of view. For example, the swipe with the large image, we need something in between the list and the swipe with the large images to show to show at the glance a little bit more functionality, not too much. Also what we learned, you don't need to have like 20 programs at a glance represented as it is in standard washing machines, for example. It's not necessary because the human brain can't, deal with so many informations. It's more like the feeling of, oh, this washing machine has so many functions. That's why it must be a good one. But the display here, is transferring this approach in another way even much better. So we call the display, the user interface, the window into the product, which stands for the quality of the complete product. Because if this little window, whether it is bigger or a smaller one, is made in a bad quality, the user is like transfers this to the complete product as it is a bad quality.
So there have been many more questions, and but now we've been running for over an hour, so I won't keep you too long anymore. Please, to everybody out there who had additional questions, we couldn't go into them, just reach out via LinkedIn to Christoph and Alice, and I think they'll be very happy to talk further with you. Also in issues such as connectivity, how connected are the different devices, and many other questions there as well. So Alice and Christoph, thank you very much for your presentation, for sharing insights about your work. And despite all the technical troubles at the beginning, and it sometimes happens, congratulations on this accomplished project and lots of success for this UI and of course for further development stages. It was great to have you here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure,
Thank you.
especially the last part with the really nice questions.
And thanks to everybody for joining today. If you missed anything, the recording will be up on LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course our website very soon. And if you like this talk and would like to see more, please join us again for our next deep dive with award winners on July 12th. It will be with Violytics, and actually an app for intelligent road management based on AI. So for more and to register, jump to our website or LinkedIn events and sign up. I think it will be super interesting. Until next time, Have a great day wherever you are and see you soon again. Bye bye from Berlin and Munich.